Happy March, Lloyd, and welcome back. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you. It is so good to be back for the March edition of the Zodiac signs.
I'm ready for March myself. I'm trying to figure out what you have to say for Leo for the month of March.
Oh, yeah.
How was your February, though?
My February was nice. It was very predictable, things of that nature. In fact, it was about changes, opportunities to travel. Um, in fact, am scheduled to travel more before we wrap this up. So it's very, very interesting.
Do you think it went according to your forecast?
I think so to a degree, yeah. But you know what, though? I can read everybody and their mother, but I can't read me. That's the
Really?
strangest thing. Yeah.
Well, I tell you one thing. You read me last month. My February forecast was exactly as you stated, just like January's. February was a month about patience. And before I get into it, let me tell you how I usually use the forecast. I listen to the forecast just like everybody else right here. And I
Hmm.
kind of listen for the theme for the month and I focus on that. Other than that, the little pieces, I kind of like, just go through the month. And at the end of the month, I go back, and that's when I can see what actually happened according to what you said would happen. So I knew that the theme this month would be patience. And that's one of the things that I experienced right off. There was opportunity there. But as you said, in that second week, it was a time for patience. And it was the type of patience that I was required to slow down. And after that, I went into the third week, and there was something that you said that I heard at the end of the month, going back in review, that really stood out to me. And that was the part about the shifts in the mood. And I thought, how did he know that? So it's the last week in February. I'm excited. I got on my blue shirt. You told me that Leo should wear blue at the end of the month. Lloyd, what's the relationship between numbers and colors?
Well, I was listening to a podcast recently about vibrations and frequencies, okay? And colors set off a vibration or frequency. Like I have on the color red at this moment. Well, this is not the ideal color to have in a mental institution because red is excitable, it's more proactive. And so for people who are excitable by nature, this would not be the color. For example, they found that the colors that are most attractive to people are red, blue, that you have on, yellow, which is happiness, and even manufacturers or companies or corporations actually do research on the color theme. Did you know there's colors to make you want to spend your money, colors that want to make you have eat food, things like that? So one of the most obvious is Mickey D's. Red is exciting, and then yellow. So when you put those two together, it kind of gives your appetite going. And people just don't know. So they'll go in there, they're going to order one burger. They order about 2, 3 burgers and some French fries up there and some apple pies and the malted milk and, a fish sandwich and throw this in, throw that in. So colors are very, very powerful. This is why a person can have a color and this color adds magnetism to them. And then you have a color that will draw. So, for example, women notice in lighter colors make them look bigger. So, if you have a full size woman, full figured woman, they may look bigger. But if that full figured woman wants to look slimmer, they should put on some dark clothes. So, this is why in movies they give Academy Awards for the wardrobe people who pick colors, who create that mood, that feeling of the time or the era that you're dealing with. There's a whole science to colors.
That's deep. I never really thought about that. But when you think about it, just like numbers, colors kind of rule our world too. So
This
that's
is a
why I
colorful
used to
world.
like to order those fish sandwiches all the time. It
Oh
was
yeah,
the
yeah,
yellow and
yeah.
red that made me do it.
Yes, that's right. So blame it on the colors, okay?
I'll blame it on the colors. All I'll do is just get some dark colors to slim it down.
But colors are also very soothing and calming, like greens and things like that. Pastel colors, they kind of add a kind of a feel or flavor to it to calm you. And so there is an art to this. And is again, the colorists, as they call them, I guess that's the term they use. Their specialty is looking at your personality, matching a color to that, looking at my personality and like matching a color to that. And this is why you have these people that, you know, they just look absolutely gorgeous in those clothes. You put it on, maybe it's not your color, maybe it's not on your frequency or vibration, because that's exactly what colors do.
Wow. Thank you so much for teaching us about numbers and colors. One of the things that I want people to know is really what you're doing here. This is epic. Coming on monthly to give the Astro Numerology forecast by zodiac sign, month by month. I think it's very beneficial for the listeners. I know it's been helping me, it's been guiding me for the time that you've been doing it. I want you to explain what is the importance of knowing your personal numerology and how beneficial is it to know your forecast?
Well, it's very important because don't forget, we all have different cycles. Everybody don't get up at the same time. Everybody don't eat at the same time. Everybody don't go to bed at the same time, or whatever the case is. And so what happens is, one of the things is finding your personal number for the year. What do I mean? So if you take somebody's birthday and you add the month and the day they're born, but instead of the year they're born, you add it to the year you want to know about. So if we took somebody, let's say August 22nd, and added it to 2024, well, that adds up to the master number 11 year. And when a person, and it's what's so ironic, March is the master number 11 year for everybody. So it is about vision. It is about insight. It is about the seekers of wisdom and understanding and knowledge. It is about raising your consciousness to a higher level. And so it is about really taking those ideas and putting them on high, where then they come to a grand scale with things. So this is everybody. Now, there are partialities. So for example, for March, since the master number 11 governs Leo, which is, they're going to be top dog for the month of March, nothing personal. See, the beauty about God is everybody gets a turn, okay? You just got to wait your turn. So this is not a world we live in where it's instant gratification, just add water. So Leo, then Aquarius, and then Cancers. Those are the primary persons who are likely to be the beneficiaries of the month of March. Why? Because if you take 2024 and you add the third month, that adds up to an 11. And so this is a mass. So everyone, regardless of whether you're Leo or Aquarius or whatever the case is, everyone need to be raising their consciousness, raising their awareness, you know, really understanding and going deeper than what they do. At the same time, the master number 11 in the tarot deck denotes trials and tribulations, great difficulties to contend with, and hidden dangers. So the week that's going to be the most, shall we say, challenging to most people will be the week of the 8th through the 14th, because that will be a week that will be like unexpected, sudden, or whatever the case is. Now, it's not bad. It's just meaning that, one, the cycle denotes patience. So if a person is impatient, and for example, Aries and Scorpios will be the sign that will be challenged. They have to be in the 11th personal month for the month of March, which I'll get into more details later. But the point is that once you know things, once you have this, the knowledge of it, you know how to act accordingly. And so people are going to also change their diet this month too. People are going to be more conscious about their diet, their eating habits, their dietary laws, So it's going to be an interesting month for all the zodiac signs, but then there are specificities about individual signs too that we will get into.
So do you think everybody should know their numerology, know their report, know what numbers are guiding them, and why?
Well, they should, because it's about, you know, as I put it to often my clients, about a person being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, by knowing your numbers and knowing the cycles you're in, it's about being in the right place at the right time. You don't wear summer clothes in the wintertime. You just don't. I mean, you could, but if you wind up with pneumonia, a little bit of going to the hospital, okay? So the timing is everything. Think of it as seasons. What are your seasons? Are you in a winter season, a spring or summer or fall season? We all have highs and lows, every single one of us. So numbers, by knowing your numbers, it helps guide you, as I said before, to be in the right place at the right time in harmony with the universe. You know, it's like a forecast, and that's exactly what we do every month. We do this forecast. So nothing is locked in stone or written in stone, as they say, but it allows for flexibility. If you know that it is due, forecast is for heavy rain, you either take an umbrella or a raincoat or something. You know that if it's going to be bright and sunny that day, you don't go out there with no umbrella. I mean, you couldn't, unless you're blocking the rays of the sun to keep from getting a gorgeous tan. But over and above that, this timing works for everybody, and everybody has their seasons. No individual is alike. If so, they don't each sell one little pill and that would suit all. You know how many different pharmaceutical pills there are for people? You know, so that just gives you a clue.
That's interesting, and I'm glad you say it, because it's so many times when in the forecast we listen to the weather mostly, you may hear that it's going to be raining today or we'll get snow today, but it's usually not a 100% chance.
Exactly. It allows for wiggle room.
Yeah, that's good. I like how you did that. So what can we expect for March by zodiac sign? I'm so excited about Leo, because from what you're talking so far, it sounds pretty good.
It is going to be good. And let me tell you this. Well, the theme this month is vision. The theme this month is about having a sense of the future, to think ahead, to not just think in the moment and especially focus on the past, but to look ahead as to what the possibilities can be. If your sun or your moon or ascendant is in the sign of Aries, you Aries happen to be in an 11 personal month for March. That's in lockstep with the universal month anyway for March 2024. So the only thing about March is that for Aries, y'all can be impulsive, nothing personal, okay? However, it says to slow it down, to take your time, to kind of smell the roses, Sometimes we go so fast we don't even see the signs. But for Aries this time, it says to kind of take it easy, but yet at the same time, raise your awareness, raise your consciousness, especially in the first week, because the opening weeks suggest that things are going to be opening up and expanding. The only thing is to be careful of not to bring things to excess. Whether you like too much ice cream or too much, whatever the case is, just keep everything in perspective. But the real week is going to be the week of the 8th through the 14th, especially around the 11th and the 12th, when the moon is in your zodiac sign. All righty. And it means you're going to enter that week in a more structured, organized way. You're going to have a plan of action. Your blueprint will be laid out in a way that you know exactly where you're going from this location to another. And it's going to be really, really nice. And you're going to see the results, because as you go into the third week of the 15th through the 21st, it means there's going to be a shift in the way everything is happening in your life. Changes, flexibility, the freedom to come and go when you please. And also because it is a literary period, maybe getting into some writing or promotion or things of that nature. But as you go into the final week of the month of March, from the 22nd to the end of the month, you got to be careful around the 25th and the 27th, when the moon is in your opposition sign of Libra. And because it's a week that's dealing with home and family and relationships, it means to be more diplomatic, be more patient, be more, shall we say, irresistible, because you know you Aries can be something else too. I mean, I know it's not all you Aries because y'all don't think like that, but there's some of you Aries out there that know exactly what I'm talking about. So you got to use patience and charm and diplomacy and just be kind. And for you ladies, irresistibility will get you far, far more than just trying to let them know you don't mean that, okay? Or know you mean that, what I'm saying or trying to express. So that's how I'm seeing it. But you'll find during the course of this month that those under the signs of Leo, Aquarius, and Cancer will be of help to you, as well as anybody born on the 2nd to 7th, the 11th to 16th, the 20th to 25th, or the 29th. They will be the ones who are likely to assist you during this 30-day period, 31-day period in the month of March. Now, if you or your sign or your, excuse me, I should say, if your sun or your moon or ascendant happens to be in the sign of Taurus, well, this is a money month. You would be my new best friend, I swear, okay? So if you want to know when is money coming this way, when are things happening, this is the month that makes it a possibility. And when I say just money, I'm talking about achievement and doing something on a grand scale. And, you know, as I often say, aiming for the sun, even if you only hit the moon, but do something in a very big way. It's also going to be a period this month for you, Taurus, where you're going to reach a level of maturity, a higher understanding, a high level of consciousness about understanding what part you've been playing on life stage. So when you come out the first week, which is the 1st to the 7th, you're going to be cutting your losses. You're going to be looking at how your money is coming and going, okay? You're going to be trimming the fat. But yet at the same time, if there's some things you've been wanting to manifest and you have the resources to get them, this will be a perfect time to do so. And especially in the week of the 8th through the 14th, when the moon is in your sign on the 13th and the 14th of the month, that's when you take advantage. In fact, there's a great possibility for you Tauruses, a new position, a raise or promotion that's quite possible. So look for it around somewhere around the 10th, give or take. But I would say, but a couple of days after that, the 13th and the 14th, when the moon is in your sign, you should do well. Now, the third week, which is from the 15th to the 21st, is when you kind of like be more diplomatic, you know, because like Aries, Tauruses can be very strong-headed, okay? But it would be more to your favor to use a bit of tact or use a bit of diplomacy rather than trying to bull your way through a situation that's not going to get it. You'll find resistance, especially as you're going into the tail end of the week. I mean, tail end of the month, I should say, especially around the 28th and the 29th, when the moon is in your opposition sign of Scorpio. So that's when you're likely to get resistance. And so therefore, you got to be careful of people trying to throw dirt on your name, your reputation, and things of that nature. And just be mindful and do what you're supposed to do. Now, here's what's important about ending the tail end of the month. If you say you're going to do it, do it. In other words, there used to be this saying, you can show me better than tell me. And if you take that route, you will do very well. The people that are likely to assist you this particular month of March will be under the signs of Capricorn, Aquarians, Librans, or they will be born on the 8th, the 16th, or the 24th of any month. Now, let's say your sun or your moon or ascendant is in the sign of Gemini. Well, for you, Gemini, this is a month to kind of lay back, to take it easy, you know, because Geminis can be very outward, expressive, on the go, here, there, everywhere. But you will find for the most part, Geminis, you're going to want to take it easy. You're going to want to kind of like take I don't feel like being bothered with a lot of people. I don't feel like going out. I need to get away from the noise and the drama, the confusion, and just kind of be left alone to get some space. And what you're going to do is give serious thought to how you work as you come into the first week, especially around the 3rd and the 4th, when the moon is in your opposition sign of Sagittarius, okay? And especially so anything dealing with money, anything dealing with financial resources and whatnot, you just be a little mindful and just make sure that whatever you're doing will focus on what is to your benefit financially in terms of your resources. You'll find it in the second week from the 8th to the 14th. You'll get a chance to really maybe get an opportunity to travel, fulfill a dream or two, or cut your losses about anyone and anything that you feel has not been in your best interest. Because from the 3rd week of the 15th to the 21st, That's when you stand tall. That's when all of a sudden you want to make those kind of decisions that leads to a breakaway situation that gives you the opportunity to step out on faith, to do things that are totally new and independent in a way that makes a remarkable change. But as you go into the final week of the, oh, and by the way, I would be remiss to tell you that the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th, when the moon is in your sign of Gemini, is when you take advantage to do what you got to do for yourself. All righty. This is very important. Now, as we go into the last week of the month, especially just before you end the month, you'll find that around the 30th to 31st, when the moon is in your opposition sign again of Sagittarius, to not overextend yourself, to take it easy, and to be a little bit more patient, because somewhat like Aries, Geminis can be a little impulsive, I should say. So what it means is to maybe think before you speak, look before you act, and just simply take your time. And I wouldn't be surprised if you don't think about or consider some kind of diet in your case. You'll find that Cancers will be helping you, and Pisces will be involved a little bit in your space, as well as the people born on the 2nd or the 7th, the 11th or the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, or the 29th of any month. Now, if your sun or moon or ascendant is in the sign of Cancer, well, this is a month where you're going to really get your act together. And here's why. First of all, the month of March is ruled by the period of water. You are a water sign and a cardinal sign on top of that, which means you represent the season of the summer. And so you're going to find out that you're going to have a sense of order and purpose and direction. You're going to find out you're going to want to set some boundaries around things that have been happening, especially in personal relationships and things of that nature. And the first week in and of itself tells me that you're going to want to make a shift about changing. But yet at the same time, on the 5th and 6th, when the moon is in your opposition sign of Capricorn, that's when you need to be a little careful. So make sure if you're traveling, to make sure you plan very well, to make sure you have some options in case this happens. Oh, and also add some insurance when you travel, you know, airplane insurance, train insurance, bus insurance, just in case there are delays or anything that you had not thought about, because you're going to be going through a month of March that's kind of going to have some sudden or unexpected things that are not part of what you thought you would plan. Okay. You will find also that in the second week from the 8th to the 14th, it's going to be a kind of a contradictory, because the psyche ring requires, I should say, restrictions or whatever, but yet the second week requires some obligations. So you got to make sure that you don't overextend yourself with promises you can't keep, things you can't follow through, and you will find that you'll save yourself a lot of wear and tear. In the third week, from the 15th to the 21st, you'll find that this is when things begin to happen, especially around the 18th and the 19th. Why? The moon will be in your sign at that time. And not only that, but then you'll be in a period where you have these interesting dreams, prophetic dreams. And prophetic dreams mean you'll step off a bus and say, wow, I remember this, you know, in a dream. The things that have been hidden from you will likely come to the surface, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be anything bad or anything. It's just that you may discover something about yourself, discover something about a relative or a family, whatever the case may be. And it's also in the final week of the month that you ended on a note that's, if you play your cards right, you should have some financial blessings coming your way, especially around the last Saturday, around the 26th of the month, give or take. And so that's going to be an important time for you. You'll find that this particular month, that those under the signs of Aquarius will help you, Leos will help you, Geminis will help you, or as well as anybody born on the 1st or the 4th, the 10th or the 13th, the 20th, excuse me, the 19th, the 22nd, 28th, or 31st of the month. Now, if your sign or moon or ascendant is in the sign of Leo, guess what? This is the month to blow up, okay? Jupiter will be transiting your sign this month, and you will find that anytime you talk to any astrologer, they will tell you anytime Jupiter makes his presence felt, that is when good luck and abundance and prosperity, that's when you begin to see the fruits of your labor. So all Leo should be really on their game for the month of March. Yes, it's a water period, true, but they're going to add a whole lot of steam to the pot before it's over. Now, It may not seem like that in the first week, but you're saying, you know, Lloyd talking all the smack and stuff like that around the 5th and 6th. It ain't working like that. Why? Because the moon will be in your opposition sign of Aquarius. So therefore, it just says that when you start out the gate, make sure you start out slow. You know, you're going to have plenty of room in front of you. You got 31 days this month. But for the first week or so, especially around that 5th and 6th, when the moon is opposing your zodiac sign, it just means start slow. You know, you'll catch up. You'll catch up. So don't worry about it. It's in that second week from the 8th through the 14th that now you get a chance to make some dynamic shifts. Now you get a chance to move with the freedom and flexibility and expansion that you've been wanting to do, because all this month, remember, is made for you. Your name, to just stay within limits, even though you might feel you can just take the whole world. At the same time, keep everything still in perspective. Now, around the 15th through the 21st, you'll find that that's when things open up, especially on the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd, when the moon is in your sign of Leo. That's when I expect that particular week to be very good. And especially it's a relationship week too. Your health, your hair, your home, the workplace, things of that nature. You'll find that you might want to take a course or get the surge to go back to school or elevate your awareness. And, you know, this is when you become this work in progress, so to speak, where you want to really do better with your life in terms of everything all around, from health to hair to your personality to weight, ladies. Okay, you'll always be looking at your weight, but you know, but that's a whole nother thing. And but that will be very, very important on the week of the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Now you'll find that as you go into the third week, that's excuse me, I should say, as you go into the final week, that's when you're going to want to be laid back. You're going to close. So everything will be a total assessment from day one of March 1st up until the very end of I should say, the 31 days ending in March. You'll find as a result that those under the signs of Sagittarius and Pisces will help you, or perhaps someone born on the 3rd or the 12th or the 21st or the 30th of the month will help you as well. Now, if your sun or moon or ascendant is in the sign of Virgo, somewhat like Gemini, Virgo, you're going to also go through a reflective mood, but more in ways that are very practical, because don't forget, you are an earth sign. And the nature of the nature of Virgo is I analyze. Well, the cycle you're going to be going through for March is I analyze. And yet it is direct opposition period for your sign. So it means to not over imagine, because one of the cycles that you're in for March is to imagine that things are worse than they really are. And try not to let your imagination get carried away, especially in the first week when it deals with finances and whatnot, expenses and whatnot. Pay your bills, take your time, reassess your budget, look at everything very carefully, because that's the time when you're going to say, okay, what am I doing? Why am I spending? Why am I keeping my resources the way they are? It's going to be in the second week from the 8th through the 14th that now this is going to be a period where you got to watch what you say, because you'll be in an impulsive related cycle. So don't say something that your mouth can't catch, so to speak, especially around the 9th and the 10th, when the moon is in your opposition sign of Pisces. And then plus you're in the opposition period of Pisces all month long anyway. So you might as well take it easy. And especially driving, slow it down, take your time. You'll get there, okay? And sometimes delays may be blessing in disguise for which you don't know. So whatever it works, just roll with it. Now, the third week is going to be much, much better. You'll get a sense of more like starting new, starting fresh, starting all over again. And you'll notice that now you seem to have a sense of direction, a sense of focus of where you want to go. And you'll find that in the final week, especially around the 23rd and the 24th, when the moon is finally in your sign of Virgo, that now you get what you want. So this is the time to be sweet and charming and loving. And because Virgo is a dietary sign, and you be in a dietary period as you close out the month of March, don't be surprised at all if there's also a shift in what you eat, how you eat, when you eat, and definitely want to lose a pound or two. All right. You'll find as a result that those under the signs of Cancer and Pisces, or those born on the 2nd or the 7th, the 11th or the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, or the 29th of the month, will play some role in some way, shape, or form before it's all over. Now, let's say you are a Libra and your sun or your moon or your ascendant is in this cardinal sign of Libra. Well, for March, it is about powering up, doing things on a grand scale. This is when, well, I'll put it like this. The cycle you're in, through no fault of your own, Libras, y'all be through a pregnancy cycle. Now, for the women, you know, don't be gasping and stuff like that. You'll be fine. Here's what I'm trying to tell you. The cycle you're in is symbolic pregnancies that most of you Libras are going to be giving birth to ideas and birth to plans and objectives and, you know, things of that nature. Now, some of y'all might get pregnant. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But what I'm saying is that this will be a period where now you can really think in terms of making some headway over this next 31-day period, especially in the opening weeks of the 1st through the 7th, when a lot of your dreams are likely to come true. And this will be somewhere around the first Tuesday of that month. You'll find that, for example, that as you go into the 2nd week of the 8th through the 14th, you got to be a little mindful, because around the 13th and the 14th, the moon will be in your opposition sign of Aries, okay? So when the moon is in your opposition sign, especially with that being the case, it means definitely slow your roll. You know, don't be pushy or over insistent, but kind of like just go with the flow. Let it be organic, things of that nature, and you'll find that you will do very well. In the 2nd week, or I should say the 3rd week of the 15th to the 21st, that's when now you become very intuitive. You should follow your intuitions to the nth degree, especially on that 3rd Monday or somewhere around the 20th. And you'll find that you'll be right on point. And because your sign is about beauty and balance anyway, you'll find that more than likely your hunches and assessment of people and situations will be right on point. And less is more. The less you say, the more you're going to find out. Now, it's going to be in the very 3rd week on the 25th, 26th, and 27th, when the moon finally gets in your sign of Libra. That's when you stretch your stuff. That's when things open up. And I would expect there to be an enhancement of your pocket in terms of resources, the things you're able to achieve, getting your name out there, your reputation, and definitely making the right connections to get you to the next move. And especially, you look for those under the signs of Capricorn, Aquarius, and Libra, or people born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th to assist you along the way. That will be very, very important. Now, Scorpios, okay? You, like Aries, will be in an 11 cycle for the month of March. That is your visions, your enhancements. And unlike Aries, which is fire, yours is water, which deals with emotions. So you should follow your first mind, your gut, as they call it, about a situation, an individual. You know how something is sometimes too good to be true, and your gut is telling you something, and your common sense is going out the window, and you're going to do something you're not supposed to, or you don't want to be in that situation. So whatever you're feeling and sensing, you should either follow through or just hold back and lay back and observe and take your time in the seat. Because the cycle you're in tells me you're going to be honing into the details. You're going to be really looking at the fine print of life, so to speak, and not so much as what people are saying, but so much as what people are doing. But the 1st and the 2nd day of March is going to be good. Why? Because the moon will be in your zodiac sign. And therefore, this would only increase that natural intuitive nature that you have. Around the 2nd week, though, of the 8th through the 14th, where it tells me you got to kind of like hit the brakes a bit, you know, take your time, make sure that you're more organized, making sure you know exactly what you're going to do from point A to point B, because you'll find that the week of the the day of the 13th and the 14th, when the moon is in your opposition sign, in the sign of Taurus, that's going to be more kind of like problematic. And so if you're under the weather, in a funk, don't feel nobody, you ain't even feeling yourself, that would make sense. The third week, though, will be much, much better. From the 15th to the 21st, you'll get a chance to kind of like breathe. You'll get a chance to like want to travel somewhere, get away for a couple of days for the weekend and get out the city or get out the environment or whatever the case is, as long as you're not where you are right at this moment. And you'll find, though, as you go into the final week, I'm going to call that your love week. So if you're feeling your oats and you feeling somebody, okay, and all depending on how that relationship is going, you're likely to do very well. In fact, it indicates some form of compensation is going to be offered during that week too. So look for that to occur around the last Friday of the month or somewhere around the 26th, give or take a day or two on either side. You'll find that in this case, that Leos, Aquarians, and Cancers will help you, as well as those that are born on the 2nd or the 7th, the 11th or the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, or the 29th of the month as well. If your sun or moon or ascendant is in the sign of Sagittarius, guess what? This is your year. This is your month where you don't want to be committed to nobody but yourself. Not in a selfish way, but the cycle that you're entering says that you want to use the freedom and the flexibility to come and go as you please, which is kind of typical of Sagittarians anyway. That you ain't got to explain where you're going, and you ain't got to explain why you're doing something. And we already had this conversation. So I'd say the secret to hold on to a Sagittarius like you is to let people understand or inform people they need to let you go. They can't be clocking you. This is not your month to be clocked because somebody go get their feelings hurt, okay? They think that they own you and control you. It's not going to happen, especially in the first week, because in that first week, there are going to be some commitments, especially around the 3rd and the 4th when the moon is actually sitting in your sign of Sagittarius. And so you're going to be feeling a certain way, but the overall thing is just about like, okay, I need to be flexible. I need to be a little fluid. And plus you're a mutable sign anyway, which deals with change. And that's the only thing that's constant anyway in life is change when you think about it. And you'll find, though, that in the week of the 8th through the 14th, now you're going to kind of like lay back a bit. Now you're going to say, okay, let me take it all in and see what's been going on since the opening days of March and see what's been going on. Because you'll find that actually it's in the 3rd week from the 15th to the 21st. And especially when the moon is in your opposition sign of Gemini, which would be on the 18th and the 19th. So that's when you don't overstep your advantage, all right? And especially around that 3rd Wednesday or somewhere around the 14th, 15th, that's when you got to be a little bit, be mindful that impulse may not get it as so much as looking forward to making sure you're planning exactly why you're going to get something. But as you close out the week of March, you'll be in a cycle that indicates inspiration, motivation, bringing out the best in people. And this is especially true around the 30th and the 31st as you end the month when the moon finally comes back into your zodiac sign of Sagittarius again. And so if you feel your oats, you ain't taking no stuff from nobody, and you think you the greatest thing since ice cream closing out the month, that's right, because you're a fire sign about to enter the fire period of Aries. That would make all the sense in the world to me. You'll find along the way, though, that Geminis and Virgos will help you, or anybody born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month. Going down the home stretch, there's Capricorn. Now, what about Capricorns? I know you've been asking. I know you'll be saying, boy, it'll take forever to get to my sign. But here's the thing. For you, it is about fresh starts. You will be in a combination of earth and water. Your earth sign in a water period, which makes for nurturing, that makes for things getting growth. And the cycle you're in means just that this is the month to plant your seeds. Now, there's going to be a period called time that you're going to have to wait. But the back end is harvest, where you begin to see the fruits of your labor. All right. So right now, take it easy. Now, more than likely, you're going to be pretty selfish because this month says you got to focus on what's up for me. Okay, Capricorn? It ain't about what your mama want, your children want, the friends want, anybody want. Capricorns got to look out for Capricorns, and they can do a good job at that at time. But this month is even more important, and especially around the 5th and the 6th when the moon is actually sitting in your sign. Yes, I get a little excited, but that's how it goes. You get excited too, knowing you're coming out the first week of March. Of March, with things happening your way around the 5th and the 6th. So to look for around about the first Wednesday or something like that to take place. In fact, I think March the 5th is on a Wednesday. So thumbs up. Okay. So anyway, but it simply means being patient, take your time, and whatever the case is, and use that gift of persuasion in that opening week, because in the second week, I should say, from the 8th through the 14th, that's when things begin to really open up. That's almost like you're going to get a clue that things are about to happen for you in a way that leads to bigger and better things. And couldn't happen to a better sign than Capricorn. All right. And so it just means enhancing your name, your reputation, broadening your contacts, and making sure that you get everything in order and have all your ducks in a row. Dot those I's, cross those T's. You'll find, though, in the week of the 15th through the 21st, especially around the 18th and the 19th, when the moon is sitting in your opposition sign of Cancer, to be a little bit more careful. Also means watch your health, watch your moods. It's not that you might be healthier, in a bad way. But for those of you who haven't been to the doctor in a New York minute, especially you men, okay, just go for a routine checkup. Women are always on top of that. There's a lot we can learn from women if we pay attention. Okay, the slightest thing, they can run into the doctor. We just, I don't know what we be doing. But anyway, aside from that, but it's going to be a week to get your house in order. The only thing is just being careful around the 18th and 19th when the moon is opposing you. But you find, though, that the last week, the 22nd to the 31st, that now you can be a little bit more flexible to move in the direction you want. The fact that you have some more breathing room to really give yourself the kind of space that you need. And so in that way, it's going to be good, because actually on the 1st of April, we're going to be going into Mercury retrograde, but I'll wait till we get to there to explain all that. All the signs are going to be affected. So that's going to change the way everybody's going to be doing something next month. But I'm not there yet. I'm still in the month of March, which is why if your sun or your moon or your ascendant is in the sign of Aquarius, guess what? You happen to be in a relationship month. That's right. I know you Aquarius are saying, who? Me? Yes, you. Okay, with romance and finance. So it all depends, okay, how things have been going. All depends on how you're entering this month. If you're entering this month and there ain't been nothing happening, that's going to change. If you've been entering this month and somebody's been on your radar or you've been on their radar, well, that might get a little bit more busier. But if you got somebody that's been working your nerves this month, as we come into March, I'd say by the 31st, that might be a wrap, okay? So it all depends. It all depends on how things are going. But anyway, this is a good month to make adjustments, Aquarians. This would be a good month, especially as you come into the opening week. Because in the opening week, you're going to say, why am I dealing with this? Why am I dealing with you? It all depends, okay? So the week, I get a little carried away. Anyway, the week that during the first week, okay, when you're really reflecting about who is this, who's in your space, whatever the case is, expect around the 7th and the 8th to be very significant. Why? Because the moon will be sitting in your sign of Aquarius. All righty. And so all it's going to do, and don't forget, Venus, Mars, Uranus, and Pluto is all in the sign of Pluto. It's all in the sign of Aquarius anyway right now. So there's going to be some very interesting developments as you move throughout this month of March. So pay attention. Don't overcommit yourself, because the cycle you're in says if you say you're going to do it, you better do it. If you say, and I'm not just talking about words, I'm talking about, you know how to say you can talk the talk, but you need to walk the walk. So if some of you Aquarians feel a little pressured, that's because you can't be superficial. But if you are going to be superficial, you will be challenged. And the second week, though, that's the money week. That's the week there's a lot of things are going to be happening. That's the week of the 8th through the 14th. So somewhere around that Saturday, the second Saturday, expect some developments to be taking place in that way, or even connected with somebody that you haven't seen from the past, because don't forget the entire month of March is about relationships anyway. Makeups, breakups, making adjustments, getting your health in order, exercising, weight loss, going back to school. All these things will be some of the themes that will be happening for you for this month. Now, I got to be honest, on the 15th and the 21st, it may not be like that. Why? Because it says now you need to close the books. And with the moon in your opposing sign in the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd, that's when the moon is sitting in the sign of Leo. You may not be feeling that way. And so you might be more inclined to say, I don't need this, I don't need that. But so you can't let impulse decide what you're going to be doing, because you may have regrets later on. And sometimes you do things and you can't take it back. So life is not like a video game. If you get zapped, you start all over again. It's a wrap when you do. But in the closing month of February, though, you'll be in a position to really be more in an independent way, more fresh about the things you do and why you do them. You'll find that Tauruses and Librans and people that are born on the 6th, the 15th, and the 21st, 24th, I should say, are likely to be the ones that help you, surprisingly enough. Now, I know you Pisces been saying, you know what? I've been waiting all this time to hear what I got to say, and I'm in my season 2. Yes, you are. And this is a season for you this March, Pisces, to promote yourself to the hilt wherever you can. Radio, television, broadcasts, blogs, podcasts, wherever you can get the exposure. This is your time to do that, especially around the 1st through the 7th, when you're trying to impress that significant other, that boss, that neighbor, that family member that you ain't been on the best terms with. This is the time to get right with them. But there's going to be a lot of opportunities. That's the theme. The theme this month for you is opportunities. The things for you this year, this month of March, you Pisces, is to be alert. So, you know, opportunities, as they say, can be fleeting. You know, it's like if you standing there like an opportunity is going to wait for you to say, now, when you going to see me? Opportunities don't work like that. You got to be on point. All y'all got to be on point this month, Pisces, if you want to take it. If you lay back and don't chase, but magnetize, especially around the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th, when the moon is in your sign, Pisces, boy, the magnetic attention should come through, and you're going to want to know what is, you might even wind up pinching yourself before it's all over. And as for the 3rd week of the 15th to the 21st, now that's when you start kicking it. That's when you start coming into that money cycle. That's when you come into the right connection. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody from the past that you haven't seen or heard from in a while comes back your way. All righty. As you close out, Pisces going into the period of Aries from the 22nd to the end of the month, it does suggest you got to be careful around the 23rd and the 24th. Why? The moon will be in your opposition sign of Virgo. And so it simply means to just be more diplomatic. Don't try to do things on impulse, and just take your time. Now you'll find that Geminis and Virgos and people that are born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month will likely be of help to you as well. So I hope that answers some questions, Ms. Kimbaley. And
That
I
was
enjoyed them.
absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. I'm reaching out to my Pisces friends, the Librans, and the Capricorns this
That's
month.
right. And also Sagittarius and Pisces this month of March for you.
Oh, I'm looking forward to March.
A loved one,
I'm looking
a
forward
friend,
to March.
a neighbor. And see, you know what happens is we go through life and we get help and assistance, but we don't say, well, what sign were they? What number were they? Because we are all here for a designated reason. You know, you're here for a reason or a season, and we all have seasons. So this is the whole point about it. So as a rule, this month overall, regardless of your signs, because we are in an 11 universal month for March of 2024, is to just be aware of the things you're doing, not just do it on impulse, not do it just on a whim. You know what I'm saying? But to understand that you all of us, regardless of the signs I've talked about, are in a position to really take ourselves to the next level. Some of you will. Unfortunately, some of you won't, which is unfortunate when you can. So that's what I'm saying. So aim for the sun, even if you only hit the moon, but think big.
Thank you so much. The forecast is so amazing. And I want to point out to all of the viewers is that, first of all, this is an exclusive forecast. You're not going to hear this forecast anywhere else. And what I've noticed today, and you kind of mentioned it in the beginning, is that it's been evolving. You've been adding something new every month. This month, you not only told us what we can expect for the month, you told us who will help us. Who can
That's
we
right.
look to for help? I think that is so amazing. Everyone should, as we talked about earlier in the show, make sure that you get your numerology chart done to see what numbers are guiding you. Make sure that you get these forecasts. And I also want to let everybody know that LLoyd is a sponsor for the Manifest on Purpose show. They're on the Manifest on Purpose show. First of all, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
they're on the Manifest on Purpose show. Each time I post an episode, I always post a daily forecast. And this daily forecast is something that you can go and get yourself from his A Star 8 app. You can go to astar8.com. I'm going to put the information at the bottom of the screen. If you're one of those ones that feel like, I need to know more about my numbers, his information is down there at the bottom of the screen. You can go to the Apple Store. You can go to Google Play to download the Star 8 app. You can also go to linktr.ee/numbersanyou. And there is just a whole lot of ways to reach out to him, a whole lot of ways to contact him. You can take classes. You can get his books. As a matter of fact, your classic Numbers and You book, the one that I like to call the Bible because it's just that good and so simple to read, was written in what year? Was it 81?
1980, actually.
1980, and it is
Mhm.
still a bestseller if you want to
Yes,
know
it
more
is.
about numerology. And if you want to be able to learn it on a basic level, then you should check that book out. But go to that link tree. There's so much information there. You can also follow him on YouTube. His YouTube show is Live with LLoyd. And is the channel Numbers and You?
Yes, the YouTube channel is named Numbers and You after my best-selling book, but the show actually in itself is Live with LLoyd. And it's aired
So
every
it's,
Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 8 live.
and you learn a lot of information just by going there and also by visiting his TikTok page. So I just want to say thank you.
Now it's
Oh,
my
okay.
turn, okay? I want to say that on my show, Miss Kimbaley sponsors my Live with LLoyd. Her podcast is called Manifest on Purpose, which is so ironic. My shows are on Mondays, so are hers. Her shows are on Wednesday, so are mine. I mean, she copycats. No, actually, I copycat. But the point is this. I do my exercises every Monday and Wednesday listening to her podcast. To me, they're simply amazing. If it sounds like I'm partial, if you listen to it, you would be partial too. And I've taken I had nerve to even copy some of the things from her show. Like I now say on my show, the God in me loves the God in you. I just love that. But again, I went to seminary school. So maybe that has something to do with it too, because all of us have this God within us that's so special. And yet we are so programmed now to just be ugly. But I encourage everybody, and I thank Miss Kimbaley, you for sponsoring the show. But I'm telling you, all of you, each Monday and Wednesday should look for her podcast. And of course, she's on YouTube under Kimbaley, Kimbaley. Don't get it twisted. She spells her totally different. but you will find that some of the things, and what's so ironic to me is she'll take a page from her life, but yet the universal principles of it matches every one of us. I don't know how she does it. I think she's amazing. So if it sounds like I'm partial to her, y'all figured it out, huh? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Thank you. You thought you were gonna get away with that, right?
I feel honored, yet embarrassed.
I was too. That's why I said she gonna get it. She gonna get it. She ain't getting away with this.
No fair, no fair. Thanks to all of you for stopping by and listening. Make sure that you share
and I hope
this.
you find it helpful. And let me say this too. Anything else you think listening to these podcasts, this is an exclusive that's on Manifest on Purpose show. This is the only time you'll see this. You won't get any other. And each month I want to add another dimension, another layer to this. So by the time it's summertime, it might take 2 hours to do. It ain't going to take that long, but I was just kidding. But I want to try to add as many components. So what are the things you like? Maybe next time I'll add the colors that you should wear that particular month, or whatever, the food you I mean, I got all kind of ideas going through my head. So, but the point is, it's an exclusive here on Manifest on Purpose with Miss Kimbaley. That's all.
But wait, there's more?
Yes, there's more. That's why people come back. They say, what's next? Okay. I got a surprise for you.
Thank you so
You got to
much.
wait till April. Got to wait till April.
Yeah. Looking forward to April. Enjoy your March.
Enjoy your March. And don't forget, this is the month of higher consciousness.
Yes, I'm on it. Thank you.
You're welcome.